Chosen one, this is your moment. God is calling you now, his voice cutting through the noise of your doubts and fears. Forget the past, it's falling away like dust. Your destiny is unfolding, a path lit by divine purpose, pulling you toward a life of abundance. You've carried pain, fought battles no one saw, and held on to hope when everything screamed quit. God saw it all. He's saying, it's time, step into the breakthrough I've prepared. This isn't chance, it's a divine shift, and you're ready for what's next. You might be sitting there, feeling the weight of yesterday's mistakes, or the sting of doors that slammed shut. Maybe you're wrestling with fear. Fear of change, fear of failure, or fear of stepping into something new without a map. But let me tell you, chosen one, that fear isn't a sign you're off course. It's proof you're standing at the edge of your divine purpose. Think of Moses, staring at the Red Sea, the enemy closing in behind him. Fear gripped his heart, but God didn't leave him there. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14 declares, that same God is fighting for you now, parting the seas of your doubt, clearing the path to your prosperous life. Your fear isn't a barrier. It's the key to your breakthrough, the doorway to your spiritual awakening. This video unveils how your deepest fears are the keys to your greatest victories. A unique angle that sets this message apart, ensuring you feel seen and empowered in a fresh way. Let's talk about where you've been. Life hasn't been easy, has it? You've carried burdens you never shared, smiled through pain you couldn't explain. Maybe you've lost relationships, opportunities, or even parts of yourself along the way. There's a story I heard about a woman named Sarah, a single mother in her 40s, working 2 jobs to keep the lights on. She dreamed of starting a small bakery, a vision that sparked in her heart years ago. But every time she tried to move forward, fear whispered, "You're not ready, you'll fail." Bills piled up, her confidence waned, and the dream felt like a cruel tease. Sound familiar? Maybe your dream isn't a bakery, but a business, a ministry, a new chapter. You felt that same tug, part hope, part terror. But Sarah's story didn't end in fear. One day, she scribbled her dream on a napkin during a lunch break, a small act of faith. That napkin became her anchor, a reminder that God's plan for her was bigger than her circumstances. Within months, a local church offered her a small grant, and her bakery opened its doors. Today, she employs others, her story a testament to divine provision. Your story, chosen one, is no different. God is weaving your struggles into a tapestry of triumph. Why does this matter now? Because God is moving you with urgency. Picture a river, swift and unstoppable, carrying you toward a new season. The old, those habits, doubts, relationships, or environments that no longer serve your destiny, can't come with you. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Isaiah 43:18-19 proclaims, this is your moment of personal transformation, where heaven is aligning resources, people, and opportunities to meet you in this new chapter. But to step into this overflowing blessing, you must release what's holding you back. That fear of letting go, it's not protecting you, it's imprisoning you. God's plan for your life isn't rooted in scarcity, but in abundance. Not in hesitation, but in bold faith. You're not just surviving anymore, you're being positioned for a prosperous life. A life where financial freedom and spiritual fulfillment walk hand in hand. Now let's get practical. God doesn't just inspire, He equips. Here are 4 specific steps you can take today to align with this divine movement. First, write down one dream you've been afraid to pursue. Be specific. Maybe it's starting a side hustle, writing a book, or rebuilding a relationship. Put it on paper, like Sarah's napkin, and place it somewhere you'll see daily. This is your prophetic act, a declaration that you trust God's timing. Second, identify one thing you need to release. It could be a grudge, a toxic connection, or a habit like procrastination. Write it down, pray over it, and commit to letting it go this week. Third, take one small step toward your dream. If it's a business, research a single resource. If it's forgiveness, send a text to start a conversation. Small steps invite divine momentum. Fourth, speak life over your future every morning. Say, I am chosen. I am ready. I am stepping into my destiny. Words have power. They shape your faith journey. These 4 steps are your foundation. Don't add more until you've acted on these. They're simple, relatable, and designed to spark your breakthrough. If this message is stirring your soul, consider supporting our mission through Super Thanks. Your generosity helps us spread the light of divine provision to more chosen ones like you, building a community of faith and abundance. We're grateful for your heart to give. But what if the fear you're facing is more than just a feeling? What if it's the very threshold of your destiny? A divine invitation to trust God's plan like never before. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, the wind of change swirling around you, your heart pounding. Below lies a valley of unknowns, but above, a voice whispers, "Jump, I've got you." That's where you are, chosen one. Your fear isn't a stop sign, it's a starting line. In the coming days, you'll feel a shift, a moment, a conversation, a spark of clarity that feels too perfect to be chance. It's God moving you toward your divine purpose, urging you to leave the old behind. But how do you know what to release and what's waiting on the other side? Keep listening, because the answers are unfolding, and they're more beautiful than you can imagine. Chosen one, as you stand at this sacred threshold, feel the weight of heaven's gaze upon you. It's not a heavy burden, but a gentle pull, like a tide drawing you toward a shore you've only glimpsed in dreams. God is moving you, not with force but with love, not with chaos but with divine precision. Picture a golden path stretching before you, each step glowing with promise, carved out by the one who knows the end from the beginning. You've been in seasons where every move felt like a battle, where doubt clung to your thoughts like shadows, but now the light is breaking through. The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? Psalm 27:1 declares. This isn't just a verse, it's your reality. The fear that once held you back is losing its grip, and what's emerging is a boldness rooted in faith, a courage fueled by divine purpose. Let's talk about what it means to leave the old behind. It's not just about letting go of toxic relationships or habits. It's about releasing the version of yourself that was shaped by survival. You've worn masks to fit in, dimmed your light to avoid standing out, and maybe even silenced your dreams to keep the peace. But God didn't create you to blend into the background. You're a masterpiece, designed to shine with purpose, to walk in a prosperous life that reflects His glory. Think of David, a shepherd boy overlooked by his own family, yet chosen by God to lead a nation. When Samuel anointed him, the Spirit of the Lord came upon him powerfully. 1 Samuel 16:13. That same Spirit is stirring in you now, awakening your spiritual awakening, calling you to step out of the ordinary and into the extraordinary. The old you, the one who doubted, who settled, who feared failure, is being transformed into someone who walks with divine confidence. You might be wondering, why now? Why does this moment feel so urgent? Because heaven operates in seasons, and this is your season of divine provision. Picture a harvest field, ripe and ready, the stalks heavy with grain. You've sown seeds in tears, in faith, in moments when you had nothing left to give. Now the harvest is coming. Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy, Psalm 126:5 promises, this isn't about chasing wealth or fleeting success. It's about aligning with God's abundance, where your needs are met, your dreams are funded, and your heart overflows with peace. But to receive this, you must trust the process. The 4 steps I shared, writing your dream, releasing what holds you back, taking a small step, and speaking life, are your foundation. They're not just tasks, they're acts of faith that invite heaven's resources into your life. Don't rush past them. Each step is a key, unlocking doors to your financial freedom and personal transformation. Now, imagine a moment from your past when you felt stuck. Maybe it was a job that drained you, a relationship that left you questioning your worth, or a dream you buried because it seemed impossible. I heard about a man named James, a teacher who loved his students but felt trapped in a cycle of burnout and bills. He had a vision to write a book about inspiring young minds, but fear of rejection kept him silent. One evening he prayed, "God, if this is your plan, show me a sign." The next day, a colleague casually mentioned a writing workshop happening nearby. James took it as a nudge, attended, and met an editor who saw his potential. Today, his book is in schools, touching lives he'll never meet. That's how God moves, through small moments that feel like divine appointments. Your life is full of these moments now, chosen one. They're not random. They're orchestrated by the one who calls you to a destiny of impact. If this message is igniting a spark in your spirit, declare it boldly in the comments below. I am leaving the old behind and stepping into my destiny. Let heaven see your faith, and let this community of chosen souls stand with you as you embrace your breakthrough. Your voice matters, and your declaration is a prophetic act, aligning you with God's plan. But what happens when you start to move? The enemy doesn't sit quietly. When you begin to rise, to claim your divine purpose, you might notice resistance. It could be a sudden doubt, a critical voice from someone close, or even an unexpected obstacle. Don't be shaken. This isn't a sign you're off track. It's confirmation you're moving towards something sacred. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds. James 1:2 says, "Trials refine you, preparing you to carry the weight of your calling." Think of a diamond formed under pressure, its brilliance revealed only after the rough edges are polished away. You're being polished now, chosen one, not to diminish you, but to reveal the glory within. Your struggles aren't setbacks. They're setups for a life of overflowing blessings. Let's pause on that word, abundance. It's not just about money. Though God's provision includes financial freedom, abundance is clarity in your decisions, peace in your heart, and purpose in your steps. It's waking up without the weight of worry, knowing your needs are covered by a divine source. Imagine a well that never runs dry, its waters flowing freely no matter how much you draw. That's the economy of heaven, and you're connected to it now. But to stay in this flow, you must guard your mind. Negative thoughts, comparisons, or old patterns can pull you back into scarcity. Replace them with truth. When fear whispers, "You're not enough," counter it with, "I am chosen, and God's strength is made perfect in my weakness." Your words shape your reality, and your faith activates heaven's promises. Now, picture yourself a year from now. You've taken those 4 steps faithfully. You've written your dream, released the past, acted in faith, and spoken life daily. Where are you? Maybe you're launching that project you've delayed, or reconnecting with someone who needed your forgiveness. Maybe you're standing in a room, sharing your story, unaware that it's inspiring someone else to chase their divine purpose. This isn't a fantasy, it's the future God is crafting. Every step you take now is building a legacy, not just for you, but for those who will follow. Like Esther, who stepped into her moment to save a nation, you're being positioned for such a time as this. Esther 4:14. Your life is a ripple, touching lives you can't yet see, creating a movement of faith and prosperity. But what if the next step feels too big? What if the unknown looms larger than your courage? That's where trust comes in. God isn't asking you to have all the answers, He's asking you to take the next step. Imagine a bridge appearing under your feet with each step, invisible until you move. That's how divine provision works. It meets you in motion. You don't need to see the whole path, just the next stone. And with each step you'll notice something remarkable. Resources appear, people show up, ideas spark. This is the rhythm of a faith journey where obedience unlocks miracles. So, what's your next step, chosen one? Is it a phone call you've avoided? A plan you've shelved? Whatever it is, trust that God is already on the other side, waiting to meet you. Keep moving, because something extraordinary is unfolding, and it's closer than you think. Chosen one, as you take that next step, feel the ground beneath you shift. Not with uncertainty, but with divine alignment. It's as if the earth itself is rising to meet your feet, each stride a declaration that you are no longer bound by the chains of yesterday. Imagine a vast horizon stretching before you, painted with colors of hope and possibility, where every sunrise whispers, you are closer than you know. God is moving you not just toward a destination, but into a new way of being, a life where your faith journey becomes a living testament to His promises. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs 3:5. This isn't about figuring it all out. It's about surrendering to a divine flow that carries you beyond your fears into a prosperous life. Let's talk about the weight you've carried. You've faced moments where the world seemed to press against you, bills that felt like mountains, dreams that seemed out of reach, or silences from those you trusted most. These weren't punishments, they were preparations. Picture a sculptor chiseling away at a block of marble, each strike intentional, revealing the masterpiece within. That's what God has been doing with you. Every challenge, every closed door, every sleepless night was a stroke of His hand, shaping you for a destiny that shines with purpose. I heard about a young man named Daniel who lost his job during a recession. He felt like a failure, his confidence eroded by rejection after rejection. But in his quiet moments, he began journaling his ideas for a community outreach program. One day he shared his vision with a friend who connected him to a local non-profit. Within a year, Daniel was leading a program that fed hundreds. His setback transformed into a breakthrough. Your story, chosen one, holds the same potential. Your struggles are the raw materials of your divine purpose. Now, let's focus on what it means to embrace this moment. God's movement in your life isn't a gentle suggestion, it's a holy command. You're being called to step out of the shadows of doubt and into the light of abundance. This doesn't mean your bank account will overflow overnight, though divine provision is real and coming. It means your perspective is shifting. You're beginning to see possibilities where you once saw walls. Imagine a garden, once barren, now sprouting with new life because the season has changed. That's your heart right now, fertile, ready for the seeds of faith to take root. The 4 steps I shared earlier, writing your dream, releasing the past, taking action, and speaking life, are your tools to cultivate this garden. They're not one-time acts, but a rhythm, a daily practice that aligns you with heaven's abundance. What's beautiful about this season is how God uses the ordinary to reveal the extraordinary. You might notice small signs, a kind word from a stranger, an unexpected refund, a sudden clarity about a decision. These aren't coincidences, they're divine breadcrumbs. leading you toward your breakthrough. The Lord directs the steps of the godly. He delights in every detail of their lives. Psalm 37:23, NLT. Every detail, chosen one. That email you received out of the blue, that idea that sparked in the shower, that moment of peace in the middle of chaos, it's God, weaving your story into His greater plan. Your job isn't to force the outcome, but to stay open, to keep your heart soft and your spirit expectant. This is what it means to live in divine flow, where every moment pulses with the possibility of miracles. If this message is stirring your soul, anchoring you in faith, let the world know by typing in the comments, "I am moving with God's purpose." Join thousands of chosen ones proclaiming their trust in His plan, building a community of believers who walk in divine alignment. Your declaration is a spark, igniting others to embrace their own prosperous life. But let's be real. Moving forward isn't always easy. The old has a way of clinging, doesn't it? Maybe it's a memory that replays in your mind, a voice telling you you're not ready, or a comfort zone that feels safer than the unknown. Yet God is calling you to let go, not because the old is bad, but because it no longer fits the person you're becoming. Think of a butterfly emerging from its cocoon. The cocoon served its purpose, but staying inside would suffocate the wings meant to soar. You're growing wings now, chosen one, wings of courage, vision, and faith. Leaving the old behind means trusting that what's ahead is worth the release. It's choosing to believe that God's abundance is greater than your fear of loss. Now imagine a moment in the coming days. You're sitting quietly, maybe sipping coffee or staring out a window, when a thought hits you. A bold, clear idea that feels almost too big. It's not random, it's a divine download, a piece of the strategy God is unfolding for your life. Maybe it's a way to solve a problem at work, a creative project that could shift your career, or a conversation that could heal a rift. These moments are sacred invitations, urging you to act in faith. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to respond. Like Peter stepping out of the boat onto the water, Matthew 14:29, your faith will hold you up, even when the waves look daunting. Your small steps of obedience are what activate heaven's resources, turning dreams into reality. This movement isn't just about you, it's generational. Your obedience today is planting seeds for those who come after you. Picture a tree, its roots deep, its branches wide, offering shade to generations. That's the legacy you're building, a legacy of faith, resilience, and divine provision. Every time you choose trust over fear, you're breaking cycles of scarcity, doubt, or pain that may have marked your family or community. You're not just stepping into your destiny, you're paving the way for others to find theirs. This is the power of a life aligned with God's plan, where your breakthrough becomes a beacon, lighting the path for those still searching. So, what's the next piece of your destiny waiting to be claimed? What bold move is God whispering to your heart? Keep listening, because the answers are unfolding and they're leading you to a life of unstoppable purpose. Chosen one, as you lean into this divine movement, sense the rhythm of heaven pulsing through your life. It's like a melody, soft at first but growing stronger, guiding your steps toward a destiny that feels both unfamiliar and deeply true. You're not just walking, you're being led, carried by a force greater than your own plans. Picture a lantern glowing in the night, its light cutting through the darkness, revealing a path you didn't see before. That's God's presence in your life right now, illuminating the way forward, showing you that every moment of uncertainty was preparing you for this season of clarity. Your word is a lamp for my feet, a light on my path. Psalm 119:105. This isn't about chasing a distant dream. It's about trusting the one who's already mapped your journey, guiding you toward a prosperous life filled with purpose and divine provision. Let's talk about the courage it takes to move forward. You've faced moments where fear felt like a wall, towering and immovable. Maybe it was the fear of starting over, of being misunderstood, or of stepping into a role you don't feel ready for. But courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the choice to move despite it. Think of Gideon, a man hiding in a winepress, threshing wheat in secret, because he feared the enemy, Judges 6:11. Yet God called him a mighty warrior, seeing not his hesitation but his potential. That same God sees you now, not as your doubts define you, but as the chosen vessel you are, ready to step into your breakthrough. Your fear is not a flaw, it's a signal that you're on the verge of something sacred, a moment where your faith journey transforms into a testimony of God's faithfulness. Now, imagine a woman named Maria, a graphic designer who spent years working freelance, barely scraping by. She had a vision to create art that inspired faith, but self-doubt kept her stuck, taking safe projects that paid the bills but dulled her spirit. One night, she prayed for courage and felt a nudge to share her work online. With trembling hands, she posted a single design, a vibrant depiction of a Bible verse. Within days, a small church reached out, commissioning her for a project. That one step led to a portfolio that now inspires thousands. Maria's story mirrors yours, chosen one. The dreams you've tucked away, the ideas you've dismissed as too big, are waiting for your yes. Those 4 steps, writing your dream, releasing the past, acting in faith and speaking life, are your bridge from fear to fulfillment. They're not just tasks. They're invitations to partner with heaven's plan. This movement God is orchestrating isn't just about your personal transformation, it's about impact. Your life is a canvas, and every choice you make paints a stroke of hope for others. Imagine a ripple spreading across a still lake, touching shores you'll never visit. That's the effect of your obedience. When you step boldly into your divine purpose, you're not just changing your life, you're shifting atmospheres. People around you, family, friends, even strangers, will sense something different. They'll see peace in your eyes, purpose in your stride, and they'll wonder, how is this possible? You don't need to preach. Your life will speak. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Matthew 5:16. Your breakthrough is a beacon, drawing others to the God who moves mountains. If this message is stirring your heart, igniting a fire to leave the old behind, declare it in the comments. I am walking in divine courage. Let this community of chosen ones stand with you, amplifying your faith as you step into your destiny. Your voice is a spark, connecting you to a movement of abundance and purpose. But what does it look like to live in this new rhythm? It's not about perfection, it's about presence. It's waking up each day with an expectancy that God is working, even when you can't see it. Picture a seed buried in the soil, hidden but alive, its roots stretching deep before the sprout breaks through. That's your faith right now, growing in the unseen, preparing to burst forth in ways that will astonish you. Maybe it's a new connection that opens a door, a sudden clarity about your next step, or a resource that arrives just when you need it. These are signs of divine provision, proof that God's economy operates beyond human limits. You're not bound by the world's scarcity. You're tethered to heaven's abundance, where every need is met and every dream is backed by the Creator's promise. Now, let's talk about the people in your life. As God moves you, you'll notice a shift in your relationships. Some will draw closer, inspired by your growth. Others may pull away, unsettled by your light. This isn't rejection, it's realignment. God is pruning what no longer serves your purpose, making room for connections that honor your calling. Imagine a table set for a feast, with seats reserved for those who see your worth and walk with you in faith. Do not be yoked together with unbelievers, for what do righteousness and wickedness have in common? 1 Corinthians 6, verses 14. This doesn't mean cutting people off harshly. It means choosing relationships that reflect the divine flow you're stepping into. Surround yourself with those who speak life, who challenge you to rise, who celebrate your victories without envy. These are the divine alignments God is bringing your way. As you move forward, expect moments of confirmation. Maybe it's a phone call that feels like a divine setup, a stranger's kindness that echoes God's love, or a quiet assurance in your spirit that you're on the right path. These are not accidents. They're divine markers reminding you that you're not alone. Your faith journey is a partnership with heaven where every step is guided, every resource provided. You don't need to strive or beg. You only need to stay open, to keep saying yes to the nudges God sends. What's the next nudge you're sensing, chosen one? Is it a project you've delayed, a conversation you've avoided, or a dream you've buried? Trust that God is already preparing the way, and your obedience is the key that unlocks His overflow. Keep moving, because the next chapter of your story is waiting, and it's radiant with possibility. Chosen one, as you embrace this divine movement, feel the air around you shift, as if the very atmosphere is charged with heaven's intent. It's like standing on the edge of a vast ocean, waves lapping at your feet, each one whispering promises of a future brimming with purpose. God is moving you not just through physical steps, but into a deeper alignment with His plan, where every moment pulses with the potential for transformation. Imagine a tapestry being woven, each thread of your life, every trial, every hope, every quiet prayer, carefully placed by the Master's hand to create a masterpiece of divine purpose. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Romans 8:28. This isn't about forcing your way forward. It's about flowing with the current of God's grace, trusting that every step is leading you to a prosperous life. Let's talk about the dreams you've carried in silence. You know the ones, those sparks of vision that flicker in your heart, the ideas that feel too big, too bold, too impossible. Maybe you've told yourself they're impractical, that the timing isn't right, or that you don't have the resources. But chosen one, God doesn't plant dreams without providing the soil to grow them. Think of Joseph, sold into slavery, imprisoned, forgotten, yet his dreams of leadership never faded. In God's timing, he rose to govern Egypt, saving nations from famine. Genesis 41:41. Your dreams too are not fantasies. They're blueprints for your destiny. The 4 steps I shared, writing your dream, releasing the past, taking action and speaking life, are your tools to nurture these dreams. They're not just actions, they're acts of worship, aligning your heart with heaven's provision. When you write that vision, you're not just jotting down words. You're declaring to the universe that you believe in God's abundance. Now, picture a moment from your life when you felt a spark of inspiration only to let it fade under the weight of doubt. I heard about a woman named Rachel, a nurse who longed to start a wellness program for her community. She saw the need. Families struggling with stress, health issues, and disconnection, but fear of failure kept her silent. One day, she attended a local event and overheard a conversation about community grant. Instead of dismissing it, she took a small step. She asked for more information. That question led to a meeting, then funding, and now her program helps dozens of families. Rachel's story is a reminder, chosen one, that God often hides your breakthrough in the ordinary. That conversation you overhear, that email you almost delete, that quiet nudge to act. Those are divine invitations. Your faith journey is sprinkled with these moments, each one a chance to step closer to your divine purpose. This movement isn't just about achieving goals, it's about becoming. God is shaping you into someone who walks with unshakable confidence, not because you have all the answers, but because you trust the one who does. Imagine a lighthouse standing firm against crashing waves, its beam cutting through the fog. That's you, chosen one, rooted in faith, shining with purpose, guiding others even when you don't realize it. Your life is a testimony not just of what God has done, but of what He's doing right now. The Lord will fulfill His purpose for me. Your steadfast love, O Lord, endures forever. Psalm 138:8. Every time you choose faith over fear, you're building a legacy of trust, a story that inspires others to seek their own spiritual awakening. If this message is lighting a fire in your spirit, let heaven hear your voice. Type in the comments, "I am claiming my divine purpose." Join this growing community of chosen ones, each declaration a spark that fuels our collective faith in God's plan. Your words are powerful, echoing in the spiritual realm, aligning you with overflowing blessings. But what about the moments when the path feels unclear? When you take a step and the ground seems to wobble? That's not failure, it's faith in action. God's movement often feels like a leap into the unknown, but it's never reckless. Picture a bird taking flight for the first time, wings trembling but lifted by an unseen wind. That wind is God's Spirit, carrying you toward your destiny. You don't need to see the entire journey. You just need to trust the next moment. Maybe it's signing up for that course you've been eyeing, reaching out to a mentor, or simply praying with boldness. These small acts of courage are like keys, unlocking doors to financial freedom and personal transformation. They're proof that you're not stuck. You're moving, guided by a divine hand. Let's talk about the people watching your journey. As you rise, you'll notice eyes on you, some filled with admiration, others with curiosity or even envy. This isn't about pride, it's about presence. Your light, your faith, your willingness to leave the old behind. It challenges others. Some will draw closer, hungry for the peace you carry. Others may distance themselves, unable to handle your growth. That's okay. God is aligning your circle, bringing those who will walk with you into this season of abundance. Imagine a garden where only the healthiest plants thrive, their roots intertwined, supporting one another. That's the community God is building around you. People who celebrate your victories, pray for your breakthroughs, and honor your calling. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Proverbs 13:20. Choose those who reflect the divine flow you're stepping into. Now, envision the days ahead. You're going to notice moments that feel like divine winks. A bill paid unexpectedly, a conversation that sparks a new idea, a sense of peace that defies your circumstances. These are signs of God's movement, proof that you're not alone in this journey. Your role is to stay attentive, to listen for His voice in the quiet, to act on the nudges that feel both scary and sacred. You're not just chasing dreams, you're co-creating with heaven, building a life where prosperity isn't just financial but emotional, spiritual, and relational. What's the next moment God is preparing for you? What spark of courage is waiting to ignite? Keep moving forward, chosen one, because the path is unfolding and it's leading you to a destiny radiant with possibility. Chosen one, as you walk this path of divine movement, feel the pulse of heaven's purpose coursing through you, like a river carving a new course through stone. Each step you take is not just a movement forward, but a sacred act of trust. A declaration that you believe in the God who sees beyond your doubts to the destiny He's written for you. Picture a vast desert, blooming with sudden color, flowers bursting forth where only sand once stood. That's your life right now. Where barren places once defined your story, God is bringing life, abundance, and a spiritual awakening that transforms everything. The wilderness and the dry land shall be glad, the desert shall rejoice and blossom like the crocus. Isaiah 35:1. This isn't about forcing change, it's about yielding to a divine current that's already shifting your reality, guiding you toward a prosperous life where every need is met with heaven's precision. Let's talk about the inner shift happening within you. You've spent seasons questioning your worth, wondering if you're enough. Enough to lead, to dream, to rise. Those questions weren't weaknesses. They were invitations to discover the strength God placed in you. Think of Hannah, who wept in the temple, longing for a child while feeling unseen. Her tears weren't wasted. They were prayers that moved heaven. God heard her, and Samuel was born, a prophet who changed a nation. Your quiet moments of longing, your whispered prayers in the dark, they're not forgotten. They're the seeds of your breakthrough, sprouting now in ways you're only beginning to see. The 4 steps: writing your dream, releasing the past, taking action, and speaking life are your tools to cultivate this harvest. They're not just practical, they're prophetic, aligning your heart with God's plan for your overflow. Now imagine a man named Thomas, a mechanic who always felt his life was meant for more. He loved fixing cars, but his heart burned to mentor young men in his community, many of whom lacked guidance. Fear of stepping away from his steady income kept him stuck, his dream tucked away like an old blueprint. One day he decided to act on one small step. He offered free car maintenance tips at a local youth center. That act of faith led to conversations, then a mentorship program funded by a local business. Today, Thomas's workshops are changing lives, his dream a reality because he trusted God's nudge. Your story, chosen one, holds the same power. That dream you've hesitated to pursue, whether it's teaching, creating, or serving, God has already prepared the resources. Your small steps of obedience are the sparks that ignite divine provision. This journey isn't just about personal gain, it's about influence. As God moves you, your life becomes a mirror, reflecting His glory to those around you. Imagine a single candle in a dark room, its flame small but piercing, drawing every eye. That's you, chosen one. Your faith, your courage, your willingness to leave the old behind radiates a light that others can't ignore. You're not just stepping into your divine purpose, you're becoming a beacon for those lost in their own doubts. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. Your influence isn't measured by applause or followers, but by the quiet ways you inspire hope, spark courage, or shift perspectives. Someone is watching you, not to judge, but to find their own way forward because of your example. If this message is awakening something deep within you, stirring your soul to rise, declare it in the comments. I am shining with divine purpose. Let this community of chosen ones amplify your faith, joining you in proclaiming a life of abundance and breakthrough. Your voice is a testament, echoing in the spiritual realm, aligning you with God's overflowing blessings. But what happens when the world pushes back? As you move toward your destiny, you may face moments of resistance, skepticism from others, unexpected delays, or even your own inner critic. These aren't signs to stop, they're opportunities to lean deeper into faith. Picture a tree standing firm in a storm, its roots anchored in unshakable ground. That's your faith right now, rooted in God's promises, unmoved by the winds of doubt. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in Him. They will be like a tree planted by the water, Jeremiah 17:7-8. Resistance doesn't define your journey, it refines it, strengthening your resolve to walk in divine flow. When doubts arise, return to those 4 steps. They're your anchor, keeping you steady as you navigate this season of transformation. Let's talk about the unexpected gifts waiting for you. As you align with God's movement, you'll start to notice moments that feel like divine surprises. A connection that opens a new opportunity, a resource that arrives just in time, or a moment of clarity that changes everything. Imagine finding a letter in your mailbox, addressed to you in elegant script, filled with words of encouragement you didn't expect. That's how God works. Through the ordinary, He delivers the extraordinary. These gifts aren't random. They're part of heaven's economy, where financial freedom, emotional peace, and spiritual clarity flow freely to those who trust. You don't need to chase these blessings. They're drawn to your faith, like rivers finding their way to the sea. Your role is to stay open, to expect the miraculous in the mundane, to see God's hand in every detail. Now envision the impact of your obedience. Every step you take, every fear you release, every dream you pursue, it's not just for you, it's for the lives connected to your purpose, for the generations that will inherit your faith. Picture a bridge spanning a wide river, built not just for you to cross, but for others to follow. Your courage today is constructing that bridge, creating pathways for your family, your community, or even strangers you'll never meet. The boundary lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. Surely I have a delightful inheritance. Psalm 16:6. Your legacy isn't just what you achieve, it's the hope you instill, the faith you model, the love you share. As you move forward, you're not just stepping into your destiny, you're paving the way for others to find theirs. What's the next bold choice God is calling you to make? What dream is stirring, ready to bloom? Keep moving, chosen one, because the path ahead is alive with possibilities, and heaven is cheering you on. Chosen one, as you press forward in this divine movement, feel the sacred momentum building within you, like a flame growing brighter with each breath of faith. It's as if the heavens are parting, revealing a sky full of stars, each one a promise of God's unwavering commitment to your destiny. You're not just moving through life, you're dancing to a rhythm orchestrated by the Creator, where every step aligns you closer to your divine purpose. Picture a pathway lined with golden stones, each one etched with moments of your journey. Times you chose hope over despair, faith over fear. The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him. Psalm 37:23. This isn't about rushing blindly. It's about walking with a heart open to God's guidance, trusting that every moment is leading you to a life of abundance and spiritual awakening. Let's talk about the strength you've discovered within. You've faced seasons where the world tried to dim your spirit, moments of rejection, loss, or uncertainty that made you question your path. But those trials weren't meant to break you. They were forging you like gold purified in fire. Think of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego standing in the fiery furnace, unharmed because God was with them. Daniel 3:25. Your challenges have been your furnace, refining you into someone who carries unshakable resilience. The 4 steps: writing your dream, releasing the past, taking action, and speaking life, are your tools to harness this strength. They're not just tasks. They're declarations of your trust in God's plan, invitations for His divine provision to flow into every corner of your life. When you speak life each morning, you're not just reciting words, you're reshaping your reality, aligning it with heaven's abundance. Now, imagine a story about a woman named Leah, a school teacher who felt invisible in her small town. She loved her students but dreamed of creating a scholarship fund for those who couldn't afford college. Fear of failure and lack of funds kept her silent for years. One evening, she acted on a nudge to share her idea at a community meeting. A local business owner overheard, offered a small donation, and connected her with others who shared her vision. Today, Leah's fund has helped dozens of students, her dream a living testimony to God's faithfulness. Your dreams, chosen one, are just as powerful. That idea you've held back, that vision you've tucked away, it's waiting for your courage. The smallest step, a conversation, a note, a prayer, can unlock doors you never imagined. Your faith journey is a series of these moments, each one a chance to step closer to your prosperous life. This movement is about more than personal success, it's about transformation that ripples outward. Your life is like a stone dropped into a still pond, sending waves that touch lives far beyond your reach. Imagine a single act of kindness, maybe a word of encouragement you shared, a small gift you gave, or a moment you chose forgiveness over bitterness. That act carries eternal weight, shifting hearts you may never meet. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9. Your obedience to God's call, your willingness to leave the old behind, is planting seeds of hope in others. You're not just stepping into your breakthrough, you're becoming a catalyst for others to find their own divine purpose, creating a legacy of faith and abundance. If this message is igniting a bold vision in your heart, proclaim it in the comments. I am building a legacy of faith. Join thousands of chosen ones, uniting in this movement of divine alignment, declaring a life of overflowing blessings. Your voice is a spark, kindling a fire of purpose in this community,